Welcome back to Level Up TV for Map 3 of the Netherlands versus Belgium in the JeeSports Nations Cup CTF. It's Group 1 match, and it's a map apiece, so we've gone to the third map, third and final. Been two good, interesting maps so far, especially the last one, I think.
Yeah, it has been interesting because, as I said, each map so far, the team that picks the map seems to go behind the other team every time. So that's always quite fascinating that you pick the map presumably because you feel most comfortable on it, but then you are finding yourselves in a position where you have to come back from behind. Makes it a lot more interesting than one team just dominating their map pick.
See some nice torch jumps there by Vertex. Here we go, look at the teams quickly. Blade, Exodus, Draven, Scoot for Netherlands. Vertex, Redemptor, Demon and Impulse for Belgium. It's going to be Troubled Waters, the old CTF2. Very
CTF2.
rail heavy. No. So following Vertex at the midfield, of course, if you want a railer, Vertex is definitely one of the kind of guys you would want at this midfield, especially with his experience back from the Quake 3 days on this map, to utilise that weapon fully. Vor, any preference? Well, not preference, but idea who you think's going to win? Any?
I'm not sure. I mean, in terms of who's got the better railers at mid, I'd go with Vertex. You know, he's deadly mid on this map. But no, as to who's actually going to win, hard to say.
I see Blade is a very strong railer at mid as well. You've got a lot of experience across both teams, as well as some newer school players, so it's so even. I mean, it's going to be a difficult call. I think I'm going to favour Belgium on this one, Vor, just because of their two attackers, Vertex and Impulse. I can just imagine
yeah, I mean, we saw
their
Japanese
experience.
Castles, just how, you know, much pressure they were putting on the Netherlands on that map. I wouldn't say you can impart the kind of pressure that we saw on Japanese Castles on this map, but they're certainly capable of getting captures on here.
I think it takes a lot of experience to understand how to flag run on this map, and you can get to a very high level like they have traditionally, then you're going to have an advantage over players obviously like Exodus, like Scoot maybe. Won't have as much experience, even if they're as good.
Certainly don't have the years of top level Quake 3 that Vertex and Impulse have.
Impulse does grab that red, and actually he's taken no damage as yet. Now that red effectively works as the power up, but I mean it's a really weak power up.
Yeah, because half the time you'll be nearly dead picking it up. If there's a lot of enemy railers at the mid, they just happen to look down, so you pick that red up, and well, you certainly can't dodge in the water, can you?
Surprised Vertex did that, but he does deny the health from the defenders. He even stole up one of those 50s, so did a decent job there. He hadn't picked up the shards because he didn't want to give away his position, and he wanted to do damage to the defender, so that he's playing the long game there, really. Here we go, Vertex does make the torch jump, brilliant movement there, and he's got support from Impulse. Could make it across on the ledge here. There's no one at midfield really to defend against him. Good jump down the gap as well. Picks up armor en route. This should be a cap unless he messes it up big style. Belgium 1-0.
Yeah, and we saw him doing the jumps in the warm-up, and he was pretty much making them 99% of the time. And you know, if you're that reliable at doing those jumps, then you've always got a great chance.
Of course, traditionally in Quake 3, you couldn't make those jumps on the torches. You always needed a rocket launcher.
Yep.
So it's opened up the map a bit.
I think you could, but it was so unrealistically almost impossible to do in a game. Or it might have only been with certain settings enabled, you know, like P-move and, I don't know, things like that. I'm sure I saw it done in like a defrag video or something.
Draven defending at the back. Getting a couple of frags there. Sorry, not defending the flag grab. Rocket jumps across mid, didn't perfectly do it, but he has escaped. He's got to be careful. The drop down. No one's chasing behind. It's going to be a tied game. There you go, Draven, of course, again. Don't forget, he's really experienced at high level as well, dating back to Quake 3 days, so...
I have to say, I didn't see that coming. I mean, that was their first flag touch, yielding a cap. I mean, it was all Belgium up until this point.
Got Robin van Persie style efficiency, all these Dutch players.
Maybe.
See Impulse just marking out that Exodus had picked up the red, and he wasn't going to let him escape with that slight armor advantage you get from that. So I mean, the tactics generally, you do have people trying to time. Look at this, he's going to steal the Netherlands base yellow. The Netherlands seem to be all over the place in defense there. They actually had 3 players back somehow. 2 of them are down in the basement. I guess maybe Scoot had gone to get the mega health. Oh, the flag was actually picked. I didn't even notice. Didn't even switch round. Demon jumping across mid with a rocket launcher. He's gonna cap here unless something goes wrong. And it's 2-1.
Nothing's gonna go wrong at that point. Teammates were keeping the Netherlands players from getting anywhere near him.
Switch around 2 blades. He's overrun there though by those Belgian players. There's a lot of them on the enemy side. So they might just want to slow the pace of the game down a little bit, Belgium, or they might want to speed it up. You've got 2 options really, haven't you? In fact, 2 of their attackers, we can see it. Well, 1 going through the sewers there. Impulse. He's actually got that med kit. He's got the mega health as well. It's a direct on Blade, takes him out. Brilliant rocket play. Look at that damage Scoot has dealt out though. Wow, Scoot did really well there. Vertex though has stolen in behind, so that shows the skill of having 2 attackers there, the importance of it. Nice rail on Blade. Gives him a little bit more time to try and get across mid. He's got 16 impressives already. Hits another rail shot there. Needs a bit of support. No one's able to spawn at mid, and the flags return. Great example of 2 attackers working together there though. Yeah, Scoot did an exceptional job actually defending against Impulse, considering the stack he had. But
said Impulse and Vertex were going to be hard to handle for the Netherlands, and you know they're proving already to be so difficult to deal with.
These rails by Vertex, ridiculous rails. 60%, 18 impressives already. We're 6 minutes in for. I mean, obviously we do see kind of ridiculously high amount of impressives on these maps, but it's always nice to see it. It was impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just that level of consistent aim. I mean, a lot of his shots are quite easy, but then you know the difference between the average players and then the best players is someone like Vertex. He'll hit all the standard rails, but then he'll throw in a lot of ones that maybe you wouldn't expect him to hit as well.
You go Vertex eventually getting quite. I'm going to cycle away from Vertex. Let's follow the Redemptor for a little bit, see what he's up to. He's up to dying. He's not hitting the kind of stats he probably wants to. On this map, you do need high rail aim. He's got 35%. Miles off with that shot. He's just going to stand at mid, so I'm going to cycle around. Demon just getting the home.
Vertex on the flag, but
his Impulse with it. Nice rocket jump out. Does just get machine gun down though. Netherlands are all over the place
maybe as well in the air.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of finished them off.
Netherlands seriously being pinned back though here, but and it's just the pressure by those 2 attackers again, Vertex and Impulse. That experience coming to the fore.
And I did kind of worry about whether or not Netherlands would have the railing strength to deal with Belgium at mid, but they are seemingly struggling to get any consistent attacks on Belgium's base.
So what do you do in this situation? I mean, you're being overrun a bit. You just have to sort of take over mid, don't you? Slow the game down again and get control back in your base.
We certainly need to, because I mean, at the moment Netherlands just can't get across mid without either being left on sort of 20 health or so, or just not making it across at all. They're the team that need to get back into this.
It's kind of funny, as we already mentioned, we just looked at Redemptor and he's really not offering too much in terms of damage output. He can't be, his accuracy is pretty low, so once he ups his game as well, I can see Belgium absolutely dominating this map at that rate.
But secondly, we're at a point as well where Belgium, they don't have to necessarily attack. They can just keep this mid locked down, and then when it's completely cleared, they can look to make moves into the Dutch base if they choose to. I mean, at the moment, it's just impossible for Netherlands to really get across.
Following Demon railing at mid now. This is almost like they've got the perfect setup now. Their base defender is able to move out to mid and start railing. That's the absolute ideal. It's followed Blade now, watching that bounce pad with his railgun. He's hit 10 impressives. We've seen very dominant displays with rail with him before, but looks like Vertex thus far has got the better of him in terms of the rail shots. Now on Exodus, again railing at mid. I tell you what's really, have you seen back in Quake 3. I think it's in a frag movie where they do the rail trail time. They put it on like an hour or whatever. And then this just shows all the rails in a match across the mid. And it's just like this big solid beam of colours by the end of it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Maybe we should do that on the stream. So we just got rails hanging in the air everywhere.
You could do. Might not be very popular if you make that decision.
Switch round to Draven. He has gone through the sewers under the water.
Demon's already aware of it though.
He misses that rail shot. He really needs to hit that Draven. He's got a teammate in behind though, stealing that yellow. Blade probably should have made his way towards the flag rather than Draven there. Draven could have blocked off with the rockets, but he's going to have to make this jump now. Rocket jumps, caught in the air. Of course, by rocket jumping, you're always going to take more damage. You have a bit more force pushing you towards making the jump though, so it's a bit of a trade-off. Whereas the torch jump, you don't take any damage, but if you get shot in the air, you're more likely to fail it.
Yeah.
Draven just making that small sound as he moved there. Impulse now with the flag pick. Scoot, going to take some heavy shotguns. Great work by Impulse, surviving this long.
Red flag return.
And it's just a bit of a game of attrition in CTF with the defenders. You just got to work them down and work them down, and they might be stacking up. But each time, if you've done a bit more damage, they're going to have a little bit less health. Next time you turn up Draven, nice rail and rocket shot there. He's going to move out into the base, then picks up the yellow. Taken out by Redemptor's rail on that occasion. It's going to be a flag return. It looks like Draven's the only guy for Netherlands that's looking like he might be able to get the capture.
Yeah, we saw Blade in there one or two times with him, but it hasn't been going well for the Netherlands on the attack. I mean, 4 flag touches to Belgium's 9.
We are just over halfway now. Draven's got a time on this medkit, the enemy medkit, and he's making it in consistently in that route. Impulse, though, picking up the flag, decided to drop off, then take the shard side. Good, reverse. There was just a spawner there who might have given the call, but oh no!
Oh, messes that up.
Really messed it up. Lucky the Reds there, though.
There's nobody there to finish him off. It was only Exodus.
Yeah, teammates defending that water effectively as well. He should be alright here. Just going to get around this corner before they can get a shot in. Doesn't need health or armor either, so I mean, he should be fine. Just needs his team to make sure they defend that flag room. It's got to be number 3, hasn't it? Oh my god! Oh no! He's failed it again! He's actually been fragged as well! This could be a flag return! That is unbelievable fail by Impulse.
You know, I mean, that would have been 3-1, and
God.
it's not over this game by any means. I mean, Netherlands should be boosted by that, and they get back in this now. Wow.
You gotta be
Impulse
cheering.
will regret that winning.
You're on comms screaming like hell. Wow, we just got that back. Let's go lads, just get the cap.
Let's win.
Let's winner them. That was a massive fail by Impulse. There's no getting away from it. He will be embarrassed by that one. And he's got to make up for it now. Here we go. Rushing forwards with the shotgun. Passes it off to Vertex. Impulse should probably fake by going up the bounce pad first, but really they weren't in a position there. Might have considered actually backing off there. Vertex at the midfield, 35 impressives now. I'm going to look at his stats. 61% rail. This is just, I don't know, what would you call it? Juvenile level for.
Nice, Vertex level, I think.
Vertex
It's
level.
CTF.
CTF even higher than Vertex level. Is that the highest level for?
One of the highest, I think.
Vor level is obviously the highest. I mean, that goes without saying, but 37%. He's just so casual with it, and I know it looks easy, and I guess rail is an easy shot.
Well, it's point and
gun
click
to
this
hit.
at the end of the day. Don't overcomplicate things. You just got to point and click, and you hit.
Easier said than done, though. It honestly is.
Of course.
And to hit that amount of impressives at 13 minutes. There's not that many players at this level that could do that. But there are some others. Nice railing as he moves into base. Draven picking up the flag for the Dutch though on this occasion. I think it looked like he was going to go for the torch jump at first, they spotted Demon. Right,
Yeah, I haven't seen Draven go for a torch jump yet. I mean, it kind of suggests that perhaps he's not confident of putting it off every time.
Because
I just missed it, but haven't seen him try it.
The other element I was just going to say about Vertex is if you've got an attacker dealing out that kind of damage in the base, your base defender is going to be constantly low. He's going to have to be thinking about stacking up all the time. He's going to be worried Vertex is going to come in and hit a couple of rails, and he's going to have to scrabble about for find a bit more armor again to survive another attack. Draven.
Yeah, I saw one of the attacks earlier from Vertex. He hit 4 rails or something in a row on Scoot, and I mean, you can't really, in some ways, prepare yourself for that. I mean, it's just you have to accept he's done that, and you know, I'm fucked until I'm restacked. But you know, there's not really much you can say to, well, you should have dodged the rail. I mean, at the end of the day, someone like Vertex is saying sometimes it is undodgeable.
Draven, he's done a really good job there. That's really well worked. We caught all of that run thus far. Impulse has spawned on him though and absolutely messed it up for him. I mean, it's pretty unfortunate. But it's good work by Draven the whole run of it. He got the red, he got the med kit. He managed to do a lot of damage to Demon. This could be an opportunity if they keep the pressure on Netherlands to get that flag back. Here we go, Draven's moved in. Impulse though on the other end of the map, and Vertex has called a timeout just so we can look at the scoreboard. Any interesting elements you want to discuss there? For almost a minute more time with the flag, Belgium. They've only got one more capture out of that though, Vor. Look at the medkits, 11 to 4.
Yeah, we've seen Draven getting a lot of Belgian
farming
medkits.
Still following Draven. We're going to cycle around, have a little look at some of the Belgian players. Demon, impressive defending thus far. Cycle around to the attackers though. And Vertex. Might stick with Vertex for a little while. He's always impressive, as we say. Actually, I'm going to cycle around to the Dutch team. Exodus moving into base. Now, we haven't seen too much of Exodus. He is the support attacker. 28% rail. It's just like the Dutch just aren't winning that rail battle at mid, and that's costing them big time, because by the time they get to base, they're just not strong enough to really...
Yeah, I mean, even Blade is hitting 49%, which, you know, maybe compared to what he was hitting a year or two ago, on a map like this, that was
seen
that
70% rounds from him, and a high amount of shots.
Exactly,
so.
we have, yeah. So they're kind of lacking those dominant railers that perhaps Belgium have in the form of Demon and Vertex.
Exodus picking out the red, instantly dispatched. Impulse managed to steal that base yellow, so just gives them that extra opportunity to keep pushing on again. And look, Belgium have got a couple more players inside the base. Vertex here does make the torch jump again. The air rocket missed. Scoot getting the spawn and getting a nade kill. Got very lucky there. Very lucky, because there was 2 guys stuck in base there, and that was looking like potentially a 3rd cap for Belgium. Vertex up to 48 impressives. It's the problem with CTF, it's all about aim and just pointless frags, Eivor. Not like TDM. 59% he's dropped down to now though. Not as impressive as before, right?
Yeah, you don't want to go below 60. 60 just looks so much cooler than 59.
69 is the best, of course. So we got 2 minutes 30 left. Of course, no power-ups to suddenly turn this around. So I mean, how does this play out? I mean, surely Belgium are just happy to play a very heavy mid-game, cause all kinds of damage to Netherlands moving out. They'll probably come up against a couple of flag grabs, but if they can stay them off, then they're looking like victory here, right?
Yeah, I mean, they could maybe look to stack someone up on the yellows in base, the Mega, get a med kit, try and head in on about 180, 150 or so. By the time the Megas tick down, you picked up more yellows, but maybe beyond that, I don't know what they can really do. I mean, Belgium, they don't need to get any more caps. As you say, they can just sit back in the rail, and with the kind of rails they're hitting, it might be difficult to actually be able to get in and do anything. Might just take a whole 4-man push at the mid, but even then you can probably expect Belgium to kill at least 1 or 2 of you if you try and do that.
So Exodus has the medkit, he has 100 armor, swimming through the blue sewage works. I don't know, is that the correct term for it? I don't know why, it just feels like the right thing to say, the sewage pipes.
I don't know, maybe. It doesn't look very sewage-ish though, does it?
Well, it's like
The water looks clean.
clean water. Oh, Scoot failed the rocket jump big time there, though. Obviously, taking the damage, being fragged out.
He had no team support though. I mean, what were the chances of every single Belgian player missing their shots in that situation to allow him to escape? Pretty low. Pretty much zero.
Probably 96%, and he was just very unlucky. He was in that 4%. So Scoot's not really going to do too much with this. Only 11 health. Switch round to the base defender. This is probably the more interesting position to almost follow now. The last 30 seconds.
There's not enough going on in here for us to give Netherlands any hope. They need to be picking up the flag round about now, you'd have to say.
Of course, you can get really fast caps on any map, pretty much, but
I don't see it happening. It looks like Belgium are just going to see this one out.
they're going to TDM it.
Oh, they won't like you calling it that.
So Belgium, I mean, were they the favourites in this match? Were they your favourite? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't think I really said who my favourites were.
I think it was going to be too close to call. In the fact, in the end, Belgium do take it 2 maps to 1, and on the final map, 2 caps to 1.